Bob Pollock from the Extension with us this morning. Our visit presented by Marcus and Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 4 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Well, good morning to you.
Well, good morning. You still have your short sleeves on. So.
I know. I can't bring myself to get out the long sleeves just yet. I did wear long sleeves yesterday.
Okay.
And it drove me nuts.
I couldn't see you on the radio. So.
Yeah, well, I understand. The cold weather, of course, can have an impact on plants, and we know that. Can also have an impact on the insects of the world, but they have an ability, don't they, to heat right back up.
They do.
Yeah.
They
Nonetheless.
They adapt, for the most part, pretty well to changing conditions.
It is that season of the year when some species will want to find winter quarters, and
right.
Some of them will find them in the ground. Some of them might find them in the trunk of a hollow tree if they can kick out the Keebler elves. And some of them will find their way into your house. By the way, our visit with Bob presented by Marcus and Mack. I think I told you that. So the bugs that find their way into your home are the ones that will sort of get under your, well, we don't want them under your skin, but they're the ones we have to contend with once the heating season arrives. And so sealing off that house and keeping, I'm thinking specifically of the stink bugs because they're everywhere.
Yes.
It's not the easiest thing in the world. How do they find their way through closed windows?
Well,
Explain that out.
Well, they're small enough that they find cracks elsewhere to get in. It might not be right at the window. It might be around the window framing. It might be where the siding, joints are.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a gap there underneath the sill, or down at where the foundation meets the framing, of the structure, and there's a gap there, or two or three. So there's a number of ways that they can get in, things that we don't see, things that, usually when your foundation comes up, whether it's, stone or block or, and then you've got a sill plate there and then the framing starts for the structure.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes that's below our sight line. We would have to get on our hands and knees to get down and see whether there's any gaps or there that, so unless you do that, you can easily miss places where those opportunistic creatures, find a way in.
Some of them we actually bring in ourselves when we bring our outdoor plants in.
True, yeah, bringing plants in. Even hitchhikers. Maybe you were outdoors, and you bring them in on your own. You bring them in on your clothing unknowingly. So that that's more likely with things like ticks and things versus stink bugs, but stink bugs could do that.
I'm thinking,
attics, that's another place where insects often get in is through those attic accesses, soffit and fascia and screening, depending on how that's set up on your home. Vents, are always that they can gain access. Yeah. And oftentimes if you have some houses, we have easy access, stairs that go up to the attic that we can get in. It might be a livable space, which usually, if it is living space, then we tend to see less insect problems up there because things are, framed in and maybe insulated better and walls up there versus an unheated, unimproved attic space where you tend to, if you can get up there, you might see more activity. And that's sometimes where we get bats. That's another creature that bats and chipmunks and squirrels are all potential wildlife that we might occasionally have visit us.
I'm surprised at the number of homes that you're seeing on the news now, and I was aware of a rental property that was nearby that raccoons will move into the attic of a home, and they're not coming out of there voluntarily anyway. But they can make a tremendous mess.
Yes.
They can cause a lot of damage. In fact, I recall seeing a story on the news where the raccoons were on the roof of a house that was shingled, and they were ripping up the shingles to get at insects that they sensed were underneath there, and they were just deconstructing is what they were doing.
And those insects, they could have been borers, so wood borers. There's a number of different wood boring insects. Usually, those wood borers need a certain level of moisture in the wood. Usually, the structural wood that we have in our homes is too dry, oftentimes. Not that you won't get an occasional one doing that. The other group might be carpenter bees, which also bore into wood. And so they're young that are in there because those adults will lay eggs in there. They bore that out and make cavities to lay eggs. And then, of course, those eggs hatch into the young bees. So they could be after that also. Again, that comes back to maintaining that structure, being observant, looking for things that aren't right, gaps, and bats, very narrow.
They don't need,
depending on the species of
anything.
bat. The smaller bats, a quarter inch is enough of a slot for them to gain access.
It's amazing.
And of course, you can get into real messes over time. And honeybees are another one that can, if left alone, they can make their hives in between the studs, especially if it's, in an older house that's uninsulated.
Yeah.
They can get in there and make a hive in there. And
top
after
of
a
my
while,
barn right now is I've got some work to do in the top of the barn because of all of the bees' nests up there. And those are the sorts of things that as you get toward the wintertime, of course, if there is an opening, doesn't matter how big it is, you don't want your heat escaping and the
Right.
cold air coming in. So
Yes.
it's time to get sealing on those things.
right, with the cost of heating and cooling, it goes both ways. Yes, it makes sense to maintain, keep up with things.
Yeah.
Do those projects when they're a little problem, not when they become a big problem. Because over time, especially some of the wildlife, they won't just go away. You're
Find a
going to have to-
situation they like. They're going to keep it.
You're going to have to take action to prevent that, to stop it, and then prevent it in the future. And noticing that early, and it might just have been storm damage. We might have had one storm or high winds that came through that just caused a little bit of damage there, or a tree branch that came down. So just noticing those things and being proactive about checking them out and fixing them if necessary.
You said something there about tree branches. Had a couple of branches come down out of some very tall maples, and could see up there that there's some ragged pieces of the remaining limb up there that are sticking up. There's nothing I can do to get up to them and get those trimmed and smoothed out. But where you have that ability, that you can, when a limb breaks off, you can sort of seal that off. You want to smooth that out, don't you? I mean, just
Yes.
make
You
it
wanna make
it
it-
a clean cut.
Yeah, clean cut. Yep. Yeah, you'll either cut it where the end of the damage is, or you'll take that. You just have to look at the branch. Can you take it back to another branch? It's usually we usually don't like to leave stub cuts like that.
Yeah.
Occasionally, you have to, but in most cases, you want to
If there is
take a look at that and fix it. But it will not heal well just being that jagged cut. Over time, that's going to continue to decay, and you'll have a bigger problem later than making a good clean cut, which then allows the cells to divide and grow that callus growth and wall off that damage.
If there is a knuckle or a shoulder, should we cut it on the tree side of that or on the branch side of that?
On
when there is a
So if
shoulder
there's-
left
right.
where a limb has
that
broken off.
swelling, yeah, where a branch attaches to a larger branch or where the branch attaches to the trunk, usually there's that swollen area,
Yeah.
just a little bit larger, where that attaches. You want to leave that swollen area
Okay.
and just cut it on the outside of that, because that has a lot of the structural cells to grow and grow over that cut surface. And that's what eventually protects that from further decay. Because that internal wood, you've got the bark on the outside, you've got that living ring of wood that all the growth comes from right underneath the bark. And then within that, the whole way to the center of that branch is dead cells, but they are structural cells that help provide support and flexibility to that branch. But that will decay if it's exposed, for long enough to all the outdoor conditions.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
All righty. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
hey, you're welcome.
We appreciate that. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. He's Bob Pollock with the Extension. You need to get in touch with him. What should folks do?
What?
What should folks do to get in touch with you?
Oh, hey, they can just call the office.
Extension offices.
Yep. 465-3880, 724-465-3880. And
We'll fix you
we
up.
will. Yeah, we will.
Good shape.
You're welcome.
Thank
you.
Feeling real fine. Tire Express keeps you right on time. Rain or shine, we're here for you. New tire fast service, getting you through. Tire Express, we're all about style. We go the extra mile so you can too.
Hey, are you working 9 to 5 and need car repairs? It's tough when your mechanic keeps banker's hours. Well, listen to this. Tire Express has you covered. Voted Indiana County's best tire store 4 years in running. They're open 8 to 7 on weekdays and 8 to 5 Saturdays. Family hours for people on the go. From inspections and brakes to a wide selection of tires, Tire Express brings you expertise and dedication to every service. Tire Express. They go the extra mile so you can too.
Tire Express in Indiana, we go the extra mile so you can too.
3rd and Philadelphia Streets in downtown Indiana.
Oops, excuse me, buddy. Didn't mean to almost knock you. Hey, I see you're now wearing them there sunglasses. You must have gone and see the light at Beacon Legacy Planners.
Yep, I just came from the beacon like you told me, and I seen the light, brother. Now my future's so bright I have to wear